Okay, so in this video we're going to discuss the WSO sales page. Now, what I want to say very quickly in the start of this video is this isn't a course on copywriting. To be honest with you, you could fill an entire video course on the process of copywriting. It's something that does take practice. However, there are things obviously you can do that can shortcut the process, essentially, and we'll discuss that in this video. But what I wanted to do is take you through the main elements that you'll need to include in your WSO sales page. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll have a look at some examples of how other people are doing their sales pages as well, because one of the great things you can do, even if you're not an experienced copywriter and you don't have the money to hire a copywriter, that doesn't mean that, again, as we've spoken about in previous videos, you can't leverage the experience of other people who are running WSOs. So for example, one of the simplest things to do is to go to the Warrior Forum and see exactly how other people are doing their sales letters, and then that will give you inspiration as to the types of things that to include in your own sales letter. But what I wanted to do now was go through a quick run through of the different elements that you'll want to include in your WSO sales letter, because each element is very important. So if we move along, the first thing that you want to make sure that you get right is the thread title. Now the thread title is the first thing that people see before they click into view your offer. If you've been on the Warrior Forum before, then you'll understand what I'm talking about, and again we'll show you in a moment. The thread title is vital because it's that title that will encourage and pique your prospect's curiosity to actually click on the thread and then view your offer. If the thread title isn't very good, then you've got a chance of missing out on potential sales, simply because the incentive isn't there for people to click through onto the thread and actually view the offer itself. So it's something that you really should bear in mind, and there's lots of different ways in which to make your thread title stand out, and again we'll discuss them when we go onto the Warrior Forum itself and we'll have a look at some examples. The next thing is your headline. Again, the headline is vitally important. It's again the first thing that the prospect will see when they come onto your sales page, and it should really grab their attention and pique their curiosity. And again, we'll look at some examples of different ways of setting up your sales page and different examples of headlines. The next thing to include is an introduction, and this is an introduction to essentially yourself, who you are, and why the people who are looking at your thread should pay attention to you and pay attention to what you've got to offer. Normally you want to try and make this slightly as personal as you can, essentially, and what a lot of warriors do is they start off with a simple dear warriors, hello fellow warriors, dear internet marketers, and then go on and talk briefly, not into great detail, but briefly about themselves and who they are, and again, as I say, why people should listen to them and pay attention to the offer. Following on from that, the next thing that you want to do is introduce the product. So once you've introduced yourself, you then go on and start talking about the product, and it's at this point that you want to highlight specific benefits of your product. So you don't just want to talk about the sort of different features of the product with regards to sort of page length and what have you. You want to talk specifically about the benefits of that product, so how that will impact on the end user, and what benefit reading the product or watching the video course or following the interview, what benefit that will have, and how that will impact the person who buys it, and how it will impact their business as well. Then you want to include a guarantee as well, if appropriate. Certain products, some people don't like to include a guarantee. For example, if they're producing PLR products, some people who produce PLR products don't like to include a guarantee. The reason being is they don't want to run the risk of people purchasing the product, then they've got the product and they get their money back because there's a guarantee. So the person has lost out on the product and lost out on the money. So certain people don't like to include guarantees, but the majority of people do include a guarantee, either a 30-day or a 60-day guarantee, and again we'll look at that as well. Then if you have any, then you want to include testimonials. If you're brand new to this, then you won't have testimonials, so don't worry too much about that. But as your thread grows and as people start to comment and people purchase, you'll notice that there'll be people who will leave positive comments and feedbacks, and they are essentially your testimonials that then you can add onto the product description, or you can then include into any subsequent products that you've got. So you may not have testimonials with regards to that particular product, but if you've released a product previously and it's got good reviews, then you can include them as proof that you produce quality products. And lastly, you want to make sure you include a call to action to encourage people to purchase the product, and obviously then you've got your buy button at the bottom as well. Obviously they need a method to buy, and again we'll look at that in this video and in subsequent videos as well. There are other elements that you can include in your sales letter, and again, as you become more experienced with running WSOs, you will learn what works and what doesn't. Obviously this is a very quick run through, and as I say, we're going to look at some examples in a moment, but these are the sort of key things that you'll want to include. And with that, there's other things such as graphics that we'll discuss as well, and potentially things like videos. If you want to get on and create sales videos, then you can do that and include them as well. But this is the sort of meat of your sales page, and these are the sort of key elements that you want to include to encourage people to purchase your product. Okay, so what we'll do just now is quickly go on to the Warrior forum. Here we are at the Warrior forum here, and you can see this is a Warrior special offer section, and again you can see all the different threads. So the first thing you notice is the thread titles, and then if you look to the side you can see how many replies and how many views. Now some obviously are brand new, so there won't be many views. This person seems to literally have just had their thread approved and it's gone live. Others have lots of views. It's possible it's been on for a while and been bumped, which means that it's gone off further down the forum, and they've paid to have it put back on the first page essentially, so therefore it has more views and more comments. But at this point you want to start taking note of the different ways in which people introduce their thread. So some start with the product name, as you can see here, and then a kind of tagline as well. Again, other people highlight the product name but highlight it by putting it in these square brackets, which again works very well. I've done that myself and it seems to work well. It highlights the product name, and then you have again a sort of tagline attached onto it, again just highlighting the offer. Or you can, if you don't want to put the product name in the thread title, you can put in a sort of brief description of what the product essentially is, what it will do for you. So for example, done for you niche sites, you know, make money or your money back. Again, looking further down, if it's a free WSO, people put that. Again, more of a kind of headline format here, highlighting the fact that this is a new method, and again if there's any earnings attached to the product, then this is a good place to highlight it. You know, how much money has been made and in what time frame is very powerful. Again, it encourages people to click in to see how that was done. So there's lots of different ways that you can do your thread title to encourage people to click on to your thread. So the best thing you can do with all the elements of copywriting is really look through what other people are doing. For example, you know, if you see this person here, this particular thread has got thousands of views, so again potentially this way that he set up his thread title converts well and encourages people to click through. You know, you can see here it highlights a major benefit, #1 spot of Google in one day. In fact, it's software. You know, so there's a lot of benefits in the thread title. So again, that encourages people to click through. So the best thing to do is to set up a swipe file, which is essentially a spreadsheet, or a document that literally has examples of actual thread titles, and then you can cherry pick the best ones and cherry pick elements from the best ones to then compile your own thread title. And you, again, through sort of doing more and more WSOs, you'll get to know which thread titles work and which don't. Okay, next, if we move into some different Warrior special offers, you'll see there's a couple of ways you can do it. For example, this person here has done their sales page graphically. So you'll see here, this is actually an image they've created either on Photoshop or GIMP, and then they have obviously put it into the thread, and one of the benefits of that is obviously it looks very good. So again, we've got the headline here, which highlights a major benefit, how much money was made and how long, and then it goes down and includes some introduction to what the product is, and again the benefits to that as well. And again, you've got your call to actions down here. If we look at another one, this one's a bit different in that this one has been done literally just on the thread itself. So there's no one particular right way or wrong way of doing a sales page. You can either do it graphically and then add it in, or you can literally write it within the thread itself. So again, we've got the headline here, what you need to help you make an additional income each and every month, replace your job, you'll also be able to work from home. Here's your answer. So there's a major benefit in the headline there. And then there's an introduction to the product, and you'll notice that everybody does their sales pages slightly different. Again, in a lot of cases it's from their own personal testing, and again, as you create your sales pages, you'll notice what works and what doesn't as well, and you'll be able to adjust it accordingly. So again, you've got some more information to the product, what's included, call to actions, right the way down to the bottom. This one here again is done graphically, and again what this person here has done, they've put the testimonials right at the top to try and highlight or increase the trust factor. They're instantly putting the reviews there saying this is a great product, and then they get into the sort of meat of the sales page. So they've got the headline there, and then we've got some graphics, some details about the product, and they've got a sales video as well, and then more sort of details with regards to the product and its benefits as well. So yeah, everybody does do their sales pages slightly different, and again, that's something that you'll learn, and it's something unfortunately that comes with practice. But one of the best things you can do is say literally look at what other people are doing, and then cherry pick what you think are the best elements and put them together on your sales page and try them out, and then from there you'll know what works and what doesn't. And again, this is the third Warrior special offer we looked at, and this person is including bonuses, which again is something that you can include to try and increase the value of your offer as well. And then you've got your call to action here and your buy now buttons as well. Okay, so that's a very quick run through of the sales pages for the Warrior special offers. I'd say one of the best things you can do, and this goes for any sales page, not just for WSO sales pages, is to create swipe files and see what works the best from each people's Warrior special offers, so that you can include those elements into your own sales pages. Okay, so that's a quick overview of WSO sales pages for this video, and I will see you in the next.